I'd like to welcome you to this session in the ESG investing curriculum entitled Typical Stages of Integrated ESG Assessment. My name is Jim Marr, and as we get started, there's a lot of information in this particular session, so I want to make sure you are prepared. Get that pen and paper ready. Might have that book ready also, and highlight some of those very important bits of information that will help you pass your CFA Institute exam. So let's take a look at the key concepts that will be discussed in this session. Number one, we want to identify tangible and intangible material ESG factors. And we also want to assess ESG issues. And we do that through scorecards and risk mapping. And if you've been watching through the videos, you can obviously see we've talked quite a bit about scorecards. So here's a session where we're going to dive in and discuss them in a little more detail. And it is testable for your exam. So what are the stages of integrated ESG assessment? And it's straightforward right here on the screen in front of you. We have research stage, valuation stage, and then portfolio construction. And if you watched our last session and you saw the circle graph on ESG integration, we pretty much covered that, right? We discussed ESG integration was in the middle of the circle, and as we went around that, we had the research part where we had SWOT analysis, internal ESG research, and so on. And then we used that information to value that particular asset and then decided how we're going to build that into a portfolio. We talked a little bit about strategic asset allocation and tactical asset allocation. So this is also, once again, a refresher on how the stages of integrated ESG assessment work together. Now, I would like to give you another little bit of an example here when you're talking about integrated ESG assessment. And if we're looking at research, and I'm going to go ahead and erase these off of the screen in front of me. Research, what are we doing there? Well, we're gathering info. Gathering information. I'm going to talk about this in detail too on the next few screens. Right? We're going to do maybe a materiality analysis, and we're going to cover that coming up. So I'm going to write material with a question mark. Is that information that we're gathering material information to our analysis? Number two, we're probably going to do some sort of security and portfolio analysis. Analysts will then assess the impact from this material, financial, and ESG factors on the investment performance for the specific company, sector, industry, country, and or portfolio. So how is this information, how is this material information going to impact our evaluation? We talked about that in a prior session as well. And then we're going to come down to an investment decision. So somewhere along the way,